All right, guys. So today I want to quickly address something. A lot of people have told us online that, man, even as an ulcer patient, taking omeprazole is not going to help you. If you take omeprazole for a long time, you are going to develop this. In fact, if you take omeprazole as an ulcer patient, it may cause more damage than good. And I'm like, wait a minute. So you mean that the consequences outweighs the benefit in an ulcer patient? Is that what you are trying to say? Because make sense that each time you buy ulcer medication, you must see omeprazole. But somehow, a lot of people will still go online to tell you that omeprazole is a bad egg. Make it make sense. Hmm? You see, that is why I give some of them this. Now let us look at this omeprazole and see whether what's the high or is the bad egg here. Now, first of all, what is omeprazole about, right? And why I'm making this video is because it irritates me a lot. Because omeprazole is one of the cornerstone for the treatment of ulceration. Any kind of gastric ulceration is one of the cornerstone because we have what we call proton pump activase in the body. Now, this omeprazole we're talking about belongs to what? A group of medication called the proton pump. And what do we know this proton pump for? We know them for as acid secretion. So when you now have proton pump inhibitor, what they do is that they go into the body to inhibit the proton pumps, meaning that there is a proton pump. What's this? Hold on, guys. So, sorry about that. Now, it means that this proton pump is in the system. Now, let us begin to max this omeprazole. Now, when you go into the body system, there's what we call parietal cell. This parietal cell is in agility. Now, what happens when you now take omeprazole? Omeprazole goes into the parietal cell and begin to manifest its odomega's power. Now, what happens inside this parietal cell? There's what we call the H plus and the K plus activates proton pump. Now, this proton pump, this H plus and K plus, is just like what am I going to use to illustrate this? Car engine. Now, inside car engine, when you open the car engine, there's what we call the top, there's what we call the block, and there's what we call the bottom. That inside the bottom, you find the bottom plate, you find the fibers and the rest of them. Then inside the block, you find the piston and rings. That shows that we used to do this mechanic thing. Yes. So inside the block, you have the piston and rings, and you now have the valves. Now there are valves there that is responsible for pumping oil. So when you now have this, what's it called? When you have oil, when you throttle the car, it pumps the oil. So those valves responsible for pumping the oil are what we call the proton pump. The H plus K plus activates proton pump in the system. Just the way it works in the car, that's the way it works in the body. So by the time the body needs this, it releases this pump to pump this acid, to secrete this acid, and the acid that's secreting is hydrochloric acid. So how do you now stop this guy? Is by using what? Inhibitor of the proton pump to stop it from producing the acid. And the only drug that you use for that is the omeprazole class. The rabeprazole, pantoprazole, alesprazole, zancaprazole, the prazoles. That is what you use to encounter this. Now, where a lot of us have issue, where they tell us that, oh, you take this and all of that, blah, 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 is going to do you that. Let us see whether this thing is going to harm us. But then this video is coming long. See you in the next.